3 reasons why relationships don't work. Why am I doing quotation marks? Some people think that relationships are like school. So we're constantly learning, evolving, and growing. What we attract into our lives are a mirror of our internal state, our internal belief systems. So what you attract is showing you what you believe about yourself to a degree. I personally agree with that. So if we look at that and we think, okay, what I'm attracting is a mirror of myself, there's a lesson aspect. So we have our preconditioning from parenthood. We watched our parents, we watched their relationships. We grew up, we started seeing society, how they present, how relationships should be. Our aunts and uncles, friends of our parents. Like we started to get conditioned and received conditioning around what relationship, what that container actually looks like. Couple that with how we felt in childhood, and that created our love associations or our love frequency. So if we look at, this is how a relationship felt when I was small. What does that mean for you? It could have meant, you could have felt safe, seen, supported, fully allowed to be your authentic self, or you could have felt like you had to hide parts of yourself away to be accepted. You couldn't be loved if you fully showed up as yourself. You were scared. There was fear. You had to always act a certain way and do whatever, your parents expected of you. There's so many versions of this story. If you take that, how you showed up or how you were allowed to show up, coupled with watching your parents' relationship, coupled with the societal beliefs and conditioning around what a relationship is for, what it should be, what it should look like, that is all of that stuff. If you look at that, that's actually quite a lot, right? You watch Disney movies, you watch rom-coms, you as you got older, then you experienced your own relationships in childhood. So there's so much confusion around it because one thing we were never taught was how to be in a healthy relationship. We weren't taught that. So you have a bunch of people with all of these conditions, all these beliefs, all these, preconceived notions about what a relationship should be, and they grow into adults. And then they try to go into this container, this space with someone and create this idealistic sort of journey and relationship with them when they have no idea who they are. Most of us, they might know a little bit, but they don't know who they are. They don't know what they have to offer. They don't even really know why they want to be there. A lot of it feels like, what can I get from this instead of what can I give to this? So there was no education around it. We basically just absorbed what was in our environment until we reached that point in our lives where maybe we lost someone that we loved, a divorce, a breakup, whatever it is. There's often that pivotal moment of, oh wow, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I bring to the relationship. What is the relationship even? How do you even operate on? That's when couples start going to therapy, or they start reading books. They start to get to know themselves. They realize that maybe they don't love themselves, and then they can only give as much love as they actually have for themselves to someone else. Again, that's a whole other web of a topic and a world. But when you look at the quotations from the beginning, like, do they really fail? If you look at it like that, and I know a lot of people who do, and in hindsight, as they got older, they looked back and they thought, no, like, I'm grateful for all my exes now because I learned so much about myself. And we do tend to try to fit this one sort of idea onto one person or into one relationship. Like, we don't organically go into it and look at it consciously from a conscious space, and we just try to fit it into this one box. Osho has a great quote. It's, love is when you see the flower, but you love it so you don't pick it up. If you like the flower, you pick it and it dies. So it just goes without saying, and that was a paraphrase. The quote was much better than that. But it is interesting how we do that. We tend to fit it into a box. So if you look at it like relationships or lessons, they're sort of like grades in like school. You keep sort of graduating from one to the other. And that looks different for everybody. Some people actually have 3 or 4 monogamous relationships that they go through, and they learn and they learn, and then finally they get to like a certain point. Other people will have that school or those lessons with one person over a 25 time period. So what are the 3 reasons? That was a bit of a roundabout way to get here, but I wanted to really lay that foundation before I laid out 3 reasons. So going off because those, I could say, actually, they always work. They actually always work, and they always serve a purpose, which is true to a degree. So because we all know that there's many, like there's hundreds of different reasons why something didn't work with a certain person. It didn't work. I think that these reasons are a little bit unconventional, a little bit different, but a lot of people don't really know like why they're there. And that might sound weird, but I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of people, and a lot of people are really in a relationship for their own reasons, which are very shallow and materialistic. So what can I get out of this? What can I take from this person? The person has money, the person has looks, but there's no deeper foundation to that relationship other than just maybe a couple different things. And then that was a lesson, that was a learn, because they don't fully go into the actual person that person actually is. Like they don't even know who they are at a deep level. They cannot show up at a deep level, and neither can that person. So it's sort of this surface level dance. When people want a deep connection, which brings me to the second point, is that they don't work, or they're actually creating from their inner well of being. So the second reason is they don't go deep enough with themselves. They don't have that full love for themselves. So they're only able to go like this much with somebody. And it's so easy to break that, So the more you love yourself, the more you know yourself, the more authentic you are to yourself, the more you're gonna attract that like deepness with somebody. A third reason why they don't work is because both people are trying to make it into something that it isn't. Like it's not for something long term, but they're both trying to force it to be something when it is very clearly not. And I think that's one of the most common, is that people aren't stopping to look and reflect and go, why are we co-creating this relationship together? Like, what is this actually for? Because if you sit and you wake up and go, what is this relationship for to me? And that, again, might sound kind of odd, but if you really actually ask yourself that, okay, why do you like monogamy? Why do you want to be creating this relationship with this one person? And again, it goes into those deeper layers of yourself and why you want to be there. The why is such a huge part of creating a safe container, an intoxicating container with a person. So maybe unpopular opinion, or something that we don't want to face, I think we've all done it, is that we find something and we just want to fast track. Like we're like, no, this is perfect, this is great, this is it. This is like forever, for the next 60 years of my life. Like I'm done. I don't want to try. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to stop. And again, I talk to so many people, and it's always a recipe for failure. I think because, again, you're not going into the relationship with this organic flow. And again, there's nothing wrong if you find someone that you actually connect with, it's a healthy relationship, and you actually want to create like a forever partner. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful, and it's about doing the work to actually sustain that. But a lot of people are like, again, they don't know who they are. They're not curious about themselves. They don't continue with the growth. They just sort of plateau, is what I'm getting at. And then you have these two people that are like, oh, like I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to try. I don't want to have to look for someone else. It's just where it's coming from that the connection might not be that authentic. Or staying too long with someone where you know that it's toxic, you're not being appreciated, all because it's not safe. And those are the lessons. Those are gifts showing you where all of your work lies. So we cannot be afraid to embark on the journey that is us. Like we have to go on that journey at some point or another, because we're going to get really sick and tired of these repeating cycles where it's the same shit over and over and over again. It's like Groundhog's Day. So take the time, get super excited about your life, love yourself, do your work, go into the pain. It's not easy, but what's easy? Like that journey is painful, but there's ecstasy waiting for you on the other side. The relationships that you're stifling yourself in, relationship that you might be stifling yourself in when deep down you know you deserve better, is also pain. So pick one. If you are staying in something that you know that you deserve better and that you guys just aren't co-creating the world that you know that you both deserve, take accountability and ownership for that so that you're not in a victim mentality. Just stand up and go, yeah, I'm choosing this today. I choose this today. I actually invite you to do that every day when you wake up. Go, I'm choosing this life. I choose this today. I choose this partnership. And if you really feel that in your body, like, how does that feel? Are you cheating yourself? And it's time to take that journey and invest in yourself like you deserve. I love you.